Hey everyone, welcome back to the Daily English Listening Podcast. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Chris. I would like to start, Michelle. Can I ask you something a little uncomfortable to start today?
That depends on how uncomfortable, Chris, but yes.
Have you ever worked really hard on something and still heard that voice in your head saying, you can't do this?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that voice usually appears at the worst possible moment, when you are already tired, stressed, and trying your best.
Exactly. It can happen when you are learning English, preparing for an exam, starting a new habit, or trying to do anything that matters to you.
And sometimes the real problem is not your ability. The real problem is that you start believing your fear more than your progress.
That is such an important point because today we're talking about something very simple but very powerful, the idea that you really can do it.
Yes, but not in a fake, cheerful, just smile and everything will be fine kind of way.
No, today we want to talk about what happens when progress feels invisible, when self-doubt gets loud, and when a part of you wants to quit before the results appear.
We're also going to talk about small milestones, daily consistency, and why so many people give up right before a breakthrough.
So if you have ever felt frustrated with your English, disappointed in yourself, or afraid that you're not improving fast enough, stay with us.
Because this episode is for you.
And before we go any further, we want to ask you something.
What is one thing you're trying to achieve right now that makes you nervous?
It could be speaking English at work, starting a healthier routine, applying for a new job, or doing something you've been postponing for months.
Write it in the comments. You do not have to explain everything, just name it. Sometimes saying your goal out loud makes it feel more real, and it makes you more committed to it.
And if this is already feeling useful, this is a good moment to subscribe to the Daily English Listening Podcast so you never miss an episode.
And a like helps more people find us. It really does. So here's mine. A few years ago, I decided to learn Italian before a trip to Rome. I bought the books, downloaded the apps, made a whole study plan.
Very you.
Very me. But 3 days in, I sat in a coffee shop trying to order in Italian, and I froze completely. I just stood there thinking, I'm not capable of this. I'm going to embarrass myself.
Oh no, what happened?
I ordered in English, and I felt terrible about it for the rest of the day. That little moment of self-doubt followed me around like a cloud.
One frozen coffee order and suddenly your whole trip feels ruined.
Exactly. But the next morning, I woke up and thought, okay, that was one bad moment, not the whole story. So I tried again. Badly, but I tried.
And?
By day 5, I was ordering pizza, asking for directions, even making small jokes with the shop owner. Not perfect Italian, but real progress.
So the person who wasn't capable was ordering pizza in Italian 5 days later.
Turns out I was capable the whole time. I just needed to survive one embarrassing coffee order to find that out.
Honestly, that's such a good example of stepping outside your comfort zone.
It really was uncomfortable in the most literal way possible. My comfort zone is English, familiar menus, not stumbling over verb conjugations in front of strangers.
But leaving it, even a little, taught you something no guidebook could.
Exactly. And I think that's true for almost anything. The comfort zone feels safe, but it's also where nothing new ever really happens.
Here's something we want to ask you.
What's one thing you've been putting off because part of you doubts you can do it?
Write it in the comments. You don't have to explain the whole story, just name the thing.
We read every comment, and sometimes just writing it down makes it feel smaller.
Okay, now my story. Less elegant than Michelle's, more chaotic.
I'm ready.
Last year, I decided to run a 10-kilometer race. I'd never run more than about 2 kilometers in my life without stopping to catch my breath dramatically.
This sounds like it's going to end badly.
I signed up anyway. First week of training, I was so motivated. New shoes, a playlist, a whole plan on my phone.
Very motivated, Chris. I like this version of you.
That version lasted about 4 days. Then it rained once, and suddenly I couldn't train for 2 weeks.
One rainy day defeated the whole plan?
One rainy day and a genuinely impressive number of excuses. But here's the thing. 3 weeks before the race, I panicked and realized I actually had to push through this now, or I'd be standing at the starting line completely unprepared.
So what did you do?
I ran every single day for those 3 weeks. Badly, slowly, sometimes walking half of it, but I pushed through even on the days I really, really didn't want to.
And the race itself?
I finished, not fast, somewhere near the back actually, but I crossed that line, and honestly, I was prouder of that slow finish than anything fast I've ever done.
Because you didn't just do it, you kept pushing through when you really wanted to quit.
Exactly. Motivation got me to buy the shoes, but something else got me across that finish line.
Can I be honest? When you first told me about the 10-kilometer plan, I thought you were completely overwhelmed by your ambition.
I probably was. Week 1, I had color-coded training days, a nutrition plan, and a playlist longer than the race itself.
That's a lot of structure for someone who once described exercise as walking to the fridge and back.
Fair, and that's exactly why it fell apart so fast. I built a plan for a version of myself that didn't exist yet.
So the ambitious plan actually made you feel overwhelmed instead of ready.
Completely. It's funny, the plan was supposed to make me feel in control, but it just made the whole thing feel bigger and scarier.
That's actually such an important difference. Motivation feels great, but it doesn't last.
No, it really doesn't. Motivation is that first burst of energy. It's exciting, but it fades fast, especially the moment something gets difficult or boring.
Right. So if you're waiting to feel motivated before you start something, you might be waiting a very long time.
So what actually works then?
I think it's smaller than people expect. It's just deciding to take one small action even without the big feeling behind it.
Like your second try at ordering coffee in Italian.
Exactly. I wasn't feeling confident that morning. I just decided to try anyway.
And confidence showed up after, not before.
That's the part people get backwards. They think, I'll do it once I feel ready. But usually the doing comes first and the feeling of being ready comes after.
So confidence isn't something you wait for, it's something you build, one slightly uncomfortable action at a time.
And there's something else worth mentioning. The voice that says you can't do it is usually louder than the truth. It's not lying to you on purpose, it's just trying to protect you from possible embarrassment or failure.
So it's trying to keep you safe, but safe also means stuck.
Exactly. And the good news is that voice gets a little quieter every single time you prove it wrong.
One frozen coffee order at a time.
One frozen coffee order at a time.
Can we talk about setbacks for a second? Because I think people expect this journey to go in a straight line, and it just doesn't.
No, it really doesn't. A setback is just a step backward, a moment when things get harder instead of easier, and it doesn't erase the progress you already made.
Like your rainy week for me. I didn't lose all my training, I just paused it.
Exactly. The mistake is treating one setback like proof that you were never capable in the first place.
So a setback is data, not a verdict.
That's a great way to put it. And honestly, consistency matters more than intensity here. Showing up in a small, steady way beats one huge burst of effort followed by nothing.
Right, because motivation is loud but short. Consistency is quiet, but it actually finishes things.
And consistency doesn't have to look impressive from the outside. 5 minutes of English practice every day for a month will take you further than one 3-hour session you never repeat.
That's such an underrated idea. Small and repeated beats big and occasional, almost every single time.
It's not glamorous, but it's incredibly effective.
Can I add one more thing before we move on?
Please.
I think we talk to ourselves way harsher than we'd ever talk to a friend. If a friend told you they froze ordering coffee, would you say you're not capable of anything?
Of course not. I'd probably say something like, that's such a normal thing to happen. Try again tomorrow.
Exactly. So maybe the real skill isn't motivation or discipline, it's learning to encourage yourself the way you'd encourage someone you love.
I like that a lot. Treat your own effort with the same patience you'd give a beginner because that's exactly what you are, a beginner at this specific thing.
Even if you're an expert at 50 other things.
Especially then, it's easy to forget that everyone starts as a beginner at everything, every single time.
There's one more small trick I want to mention actually before we move into some practice examples.
Go for it.
I started keeping a tiny list on my phone, just one line a day of something I did that I was proud of, even something small like finishing a hard email or speaking up in a meeting.
That's such a simple habit.
It is, but on the days when I feel like I can't do anything right, I open that list and it reminds me that I've done hard things before, plenty of times.
I love that. It's like building evidence for yourself, so the doubt has less room to argue with you.
Exactly. The voice in your head that says you can't is a lot quieter when you've got a whole list proving otherwise.
And you don't need 10 items. Even 3 or 4 small wins written down somewhere can shift how you see yourself over time.
Okay, so let's make this practical, especially for anyone listening who's learning English right now.
Good idea, because I think this whole idea applies perfectly to language learning.
100%. So here's a simple one. Instead of thinking, my English isn't good enough to speak, try saying, my English is good enough to start a conversation, even if I make mistakes.
That's a great one. Or instead of I'll practice speaking once I'm more confident, try I'll practice speaking so that I become more confident.
See what you did there? Small change in the sentence, completely different mindset.
And even a sentence like, I didn't understand everything, but I understood that part, that's a win. Say it to yourself, out loud if you have to.
I actually do that. After a hard conversation in a new language, I always name one thing I did well before I list everything I got wrong.
That's such a healthy habit.
It genuinely changes how the whole day feels.
Here's another one for anyone learning a new skill, not just English. Instead of I'm behind everyone else, try I'm exactly where I am, and that's where I start from.
That comparison trap is brutal, though. It's so easy to look at someone further along and forget they started somewhere too.
Completely. And one more small phrase I love, instead of what if I fail, try asking what will I learn even if this goes badly.
That one instantly makes it feel less scary.
It does, because failing at something isn't the opposite of succeeding. It's usually part of how you get there.
Okay, quick game. I'll say something discouraging and you turn it into encouragement. Ready?
Go for it.
I'll never sound natural in English.
I don't sound natural yet, and every conversation is helping me get closer.
I always freeze up when someone asks me a question.
I froze today, and next time I'll have one more experience behind me.
You're disturbingly good at this.
I've had a lot of practice encouraging myself out of a coffee shop panic, remember?
Okay, actually deeply impressive.
And this isn't only useful for English either. The same reframing works for a job interview, a difficult conversation with family, or trying something completely new later in life.
My uncle started painting classes last year. 61 years old, hadn't picked up a brush since school.
What happened?
His first 3 paintings were honestly not great. He said so himself.
Okay.
But he kept going, painting 7 or 8, actually pretty good, and now he's the one encouraging his classmates when they want to quit.
So he went from doubting himself to encouraging other people.
Completely. He says the trick was never comparing painting 1 to painting 50. He just compared painting 1 to painting 2.
Funny enough, I went back to Rome 2 years later and I didn't freeze once. I ordered coffee, asked for restaurant recommendations, even complained a little about the weather in Italian.
The exact same person who couldn't order a coffee.
The exact same person. Nothing magical happened in between. I just kept practicing, kept making small mistakes, and slowly it stopped feeling impossible.
So the breakthrough wasn't one big moment, it was just the version of you built from all those small, unimpressive tries.
Exactly that.
I like that. The breakthrough gets all the credit, but the boring tries did all the work.
See, that's the difference between finishing a hard practice session feeling defeated or finishing it feeling like you actually grew a little.
Speaking of growing, this feels like the perfect moment to slow down and collect some of the words we've been using today.
Yes, let's do a quick word tour.
Next word, capable. Repeat after me. Capable. One more time. Capable. And the last one, capable.
If you are capable of something, you have the ability or skill to do it, even if you don't feel confident about it yet, and even if you've never actually tried it before. For example, she was fully capable of finishing the project, even though she doubted herself the whole time. Or, you don't have to feel capable to be capable. The feeling often arrives later, sometimes much later. And one small success is often enough to remind you that you were capable all along. You just hadn't proven it to yourself yet.
Here's the next word, self-doubt. Say it with me, self-doubt. Once more, self-doubt. And to finish it off, self-doubt.
Self-doubt is that uncertain feeling when you're not sure you can do something, even if you actually can, and even if other people can clearly see that you can. For example, self-doubt made her hesitate before raising her hand in class, even though she knew the answer perfectly well. Or everyone experiences self-doubt sometimes. The difference is whether you let it make the final decision for you. And self-doubt tends to get loudest right before you're about to succeed, almost like it's testing how much you really want something.
Moving on to our next word, motivated. Try it out loud. Motivated. Again, motivated. And the final repeat, motivated.
When you are motivated, you feel a strong desire or energy to do something, usually because it feels new, exciting, or important to you. For example, I felt motivated on the first day of my new routine, ready to change everything at once. Or motivated feelings are wonderful, but they rarely last on their own without a plan behind them to support them. And staying motivated for one single day is easy. Building a habit is what carries you through the days when you're simply not.
Next phrase, push through. Give it a try. Push through. One more round, push through. And one last time, push through.
To push through something means to keep going, even when it's difficult, uncomfortable, or when a part of you really wants to stop completely. For example, he wanted to quit halfway through the race, but he pushed through and finished anyway, slower than planned. Or sometimes pushing through isn't dramatic at all. It just looks like showing up on a boring, tired Tuesday when nobody's watching. And the ability to push through small discomfort is often what separates people who finish things from people who only ever start them.
Next word, encourage. Say it with me, encourage. One more round, encourage. And to finish it off, encourage.
To encourage someone means to give them support, confidence, or hope, especially before or during something difficult, so they keep going instead of giving up. For example, her coach encouraged her to keep swimming even after a slow, disappointing start. Or sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply encourage yourself, the way you would encourage a close friend who was struggling. And a single sentence of real encouragement said at exactly the right moment can be the difference between someone quitting and someone trying just one more time.
That's such a good one to end on.
You know, when I think back to that coffee shop in Rome, the thing I remember most isn't the mistake. It's that I tried again the very next day.
That's really the whole episode, isn't it? Not some big transformation, just deciding, again and again, to try the next small thing.
You don't need to feel ready. You don't need to feel fully confident. You just need to take the next step, even a small, imperfect one.
And if today all you do is start, that's enough. That's genuinely enough.
I think about all the people listening right now who are learning English while also doubting whether they're good enough to call themselves English speakers.
You are, by the way. If you're understanding this episode, you are already an English speaker. Maybe not a finished one, none of us are, but a real one.
And the same goes for whatever you're doubting yourself about outside of English too. The job, the relationship, the creative project sitting quietly in a drawer somewhere.
You don't need permission to start. You just need one small, imperfect action today.
It really is enough. And on that note,
And if you want to keep building this kind of confidence, we have an episode called Start Your Day Right, about setting yourself up for a good day before it even really begins. It's a great next step from here. You don't have to feel ready. You just have to begin.
this is Michelle.
And this is Chris.
Take care of your English.
And take care of your heart. Bye, everyone.
Bye.